So, I'm a huge fan of all flavors of Godzilla. I still love the American versions of the Godzilla, the legendary films. This one is directed by Adam Wingard of, these movies. This time comes another entry in this monster cinematic universe, and on the dual scale by which I measure these movies personally, it's a fun movie and a great Godzilla Kong movie. With a new threat poised to upset the balance of the world and a secret call for help ringing out, will teamwork bring out 120% of their potential? Spoilers ahead for my Lizzies and my monkeys. I'm Dennis from That's for the Birds, and this is Godzilla x Kong, A New Empire. We get a lonely Kong to start, and a fighting and sleeping Godzilla. The stakes are pretty personal, with the conflict being mostly central to the little girl who starts to feel a pull towards the hollow earth that coincides with a mysterious message that comes out. I really loved how the world felt acclimated to the existence of kaiju monsters just roaming around as a daily occurrence. It's something the Jurassic World movies have failed to capture that these definitely succeed in. Their world feels like it's had to actually reconcile and respond to their presence in meaningful ways. I mean, I'm obsessed with the fact that there is an in-universe podcast ad for catastrophic Titan insurance coverage lines. This speaks to me on a personal, visceral level. And while it's filled with neat touches of world-building subtlety, it's also got really on-the-nose dialogue about how Kong is the last of his kind. Save that for later. And so is this little girl. Save that for later. That said, I really liked the human characters this time. The returning doctor, the returning podcast weirdo, the returning mystically connected Kong girl, addition of some fun monarch folks with incredible accents, especially the trapper, a Titan veterinarian who so perfectly presented himself that the Ace Ventura joke that eventually hit was already queued up in my brain. But that's not why this flavor of Godzilla movie ultimately exists.
Let them fight.
We want to see some action, and this movie doesn't really hesitate to give it to us. Small and large form conflicts, tricky trap making, and after some large animal dentistry, Kong journeys back to the center of the world, only to finally see what he's always wanted. A new subchamber of the underground that reveals the existence of a bunch of fellow apes, which almost immediately blows up in his face. Kraptos beats the shit out of some angry apes with a small Atreus-like child. But honestly, the whole scene is well handled. It's framed as this is the sort of last thing that Kong wants to be doing. He didn't want this violence against his fellow apes. His first instinct was to reach out his hand in friendship. He saves one from death only to have his hand forced into it anyway. He does the same later, protecting the proletariat from their overseers. This show of true leadership inspires hope. You see, Kong is for the people. We get some sort of curious off-screen fights back-to-back for some reason. One for Kong and one for Godzilla, which surprised me the most because the Tiamat fight was really built up to. First of all, it looks like one of my favorite Monster Hunter monsters, and second of all, it has like its own little like animation. It's got like this den with the most nuclear energy, and it's got razor sharp skin, and it does 0 damage to Kong. It does jack shit, and it dies within 10 seconds of being introduced. So that was strange, but while all this is going down, Godzilla is just bulking in the background. He's getting his fit on, he's eating as much as possible to really bulk up, so he can get into cutting season when it's time for the action. During this, Kong, he shows up, saves somebody before the primary antagonist steps in. Scar King. You know he's evil because he has red all over himself, he's got a bone whip, and he does slavery. So, simultaneously, we're learning that the human plot of this movie is that our girl is the child of an ancient prophecy that perfectly and explicitly spells out a lizard, a giant monkey, and a giant moth. So, her purpose is to bring about the revival of a version of Mothra, another Mothra, because I thought the old Mothra was up there still. I didn't think it died in the last movie. So, but maybe it went down there and cocooned, and now it's back. Who knows? Kong gets this sweet-ass metal fist upgrade with electric punch hydraulics, which is just fucking so cool. The plan is in place. Get Godzilla down to the core so he can help fight the ape army and an ice dragon to save a telekinetic race of ancient people who are extinct, and holy shit, this is a lot for a Godzilla movie. The plan, either way, is hilarious because there's this desperate race to get to Mothra because she is the only thing that can convince Godzilla to be a normal person. He's basically a tsundere whose entire point of leverage is just this one moth lady. We get this bonkers fight scene where Godzilla just absolutely destroys Egypt and some amazing, historical landmarks before suplexing King Kong. And then Mothra shows up and he immediately folds like a lawn chair. I get it. So they jump back in the portal to fight just in time with the Scar King as Kong rides Godzilla into battle, jumping off Avengers style as they meet in the middle to retro music that's playing with the needle drop as lightning pterodactyls get drawn in by Trapper. Incredible. Like, so fucking extra and stupid and fun. It was what I was looking for. Right when this is happening, the psychic people do gravity shenanigans to these crystal inverted pyramids. Again, not a joke and not a critique. I love this. Which creates a window of time where there is no gravity and everyone is hopping from rock to rock, throwing rocks. Mothra is shooting web blasts, and then in an effort to follow the bad guys, everyone lands in Rio de Janeiro, which is hilarious because I'm pretty sure they destroyed it in the last movie, or in the one where they beat Mechagodzilla, which is the last movie. So they're just really heaping shit on Brazil right now. Sorry for my people. This final fight was just fucking tight as shit. The pairs of fighters weave in and out, losing and gaining the upper hand until the blade that lets the Scar King control the ice dragon gets loose, and from the top rope, Mini Kong with the axe doing a Fire Emblem crit animation spin hits it with the Leviathan axe, creating an explosion that blows everyone away. And right before Scar King's about to kill him, Kong has a literal "do not touch me or my son ever again" moment. And then, because the ice dragon is no longer under his control, Godzilla gives him a look and the ice dragon says, "Okay," and he freezes him. And then he smashes that giant monkey into pieces. Godzilla helps this ice dragon break the chains of his oppressors, saying he has nothing to lose but those chains. So, honestly, yeah, I had a blast with this movie. What's the point of it? Well, fun action, and it delivers there. The second point, though, is I think that we're at an interesting place where the world has convincingly created a status quo of Titans being the norm. Godzilla has dominion above and Kong has dominion below, with the larger implication being that the worlds once lived in harmony and could do so again. I like this idea of a general theme of uniting a divided world, coming together in a meaningful way and rising to the aid of those who need it. There's a nice symmetry to them taking their place as the respective protectors of nature and humanity, and the true goal is a harmonious balance of the two of those things. I think they're wide open to be making more spin-offs, more team-ups, and with the renewal of Monarch Season 2, the future of kaiju content is well assured. And this is coming right off the heels of the first ever Godzilla Oscar win for the best Godzilla movie of all time, Godzilla Minus One. It's a good time to be a Godzilla fan. It's a good time to be a King Kong fan. Ultimately, this movie didn't take itself too seriously, but peppered in just enough humor and humanity for me to invest more than just the stocks I do for giant kaijus, but also enough in the human side. And as a kaiju fan, I'm satisfied. Thanks for watching.